We are super, super honored. I mean, super honored to have Derrick T. Lewis on our Results and No Hype Magazine Music Review podcast. I'm your host tonight, Zoe Rosegold. You guys can find me on Instagram at official Zoe NYC. That's the official ZOEE NYC. I got my music review glasses on today, and we're ready to review some music. So the entire RNH magazine team is excited to hear Derrick T. Lewis, his music, to hear about his journey and broadcast his journey to the world. So again, let everybody know we live. Come on in, come on in. Let everybody know that Derrick T. Lewis is in the building on the Results No Hype magazine review podcast. So we're just going to jump right into it. The name of the track we're going to review tonight is called Every Second Make It Count. So, Derrick, just break down to us the meaning behind that title.
Well, when I first wrote the song, one of the things that was going through my mind at the time, it was like, as far as what are the most important things to us as human beings, right? And what are the things that we put on the pedestal? Are they important or are they not that important? So I think for me, it's like making every second make it count is put the most important things at the forefront and take care of that. You know what I mean? And don't worry about the other stuff, the negative things. And we all know it, whether it's regardless of the vocation or way of life or whatever it is. There's gonna be negative things that's gonna come your way. But I think it's all about putting the positive spin and use the glass half full mentality
Right.
type thing. So that's
Absolutely.
what pretty much the song is all about. And
Absolutely.
when I first wrote it, but obviously with the music video, it ties into a different subject matter, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So here we go. Let's hear it. Every second make it count. Let's go. You can hear it, right?
This road isn't paved with roses. It's bumpy and I know you feel. Don't stress about it, just put it in motion, and everyone will know it's real. Sometimes the world will get you down. Your desire will let it grow. You've gotta ignore it and keep on moving. I wanna let you know it doesn't mean to quit, no matter what it is. You're gonna make it anyway. Every second, make it count. Make it count. That's the life it's all about. This is the way to shake it. Oh, yeah, we're gonna take it. Yeah. Every second, make it count. Every second, make it count. The enemy is out to get you, so focus on your destiny. The negative will hold you back, and your gravity is a lease. Worse is living in the past. Let it go. The future is bright and it's just beginning. Before I let you know. Every second, make it count. Make it count. That's what life is all about. It's all about. This is the way to shake it. Oh, yeah, we're gonna take it. Yeah. Every second, make it count. Every second, make it count. Sadness comes pouring rain. Then the sun saves the day. Every second. go. That's the life it's all about. The city's gonna be shaking. Yeah, we're gonna take it. Yeah, every second we can count. Every second we can count. We will take it. We will shake it. We will shake it. We will conquer the world. Every second we can count.
All right. You were able to hear it nice and clear, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Yes, yes. I was blasting that in my car today. You know, because I
Oh my
was, I listened to it in my car because I wanted to really hear all the effects. Like in my car, I could hear it really well and crisp.
God.
And I was definitely bouncing to it. I had a good time. I think it's a fun song, you know. It shows your range too, because the last song I heard was more of a ballad, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, which was cool. So this one, like, I expected a ballad, and then it just showed your range, and I just thought it was really fun. I could hear it on the radio. Honestly, I could hear that on the radio. I could hear that at a club. You know, definitely people dancing to that. So I thought it was really fun. I enjoy it. I think it's a cool song.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's just an honor to hear something like that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So explain like your mental and creative approach to making that record.
Well, to my core, dance music is what I'm about. I was listening to dance music,
Mhm.
from the time I can even remember. My mom and my dad had disco records, in the house when I was really young. So
Right.
when you look at the evolution of dance music, we could talk about, disco, that we can talk about freestyle, that we could talk about techno, and we can talk about how deep house music, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, then it turned into Europop, you know what I'm saying? With like Hadaway and all those other songs that came out in the mid to late 90s. And then obviously trance music, over in
Mm.
Europe, and then EDM and dubstep and all these other subgenres under dance. And dance music is truly who I am. And I
Okay.
embrace that. Because like I said, Selfish Pride, that song was just a dare to myself to see if I could, let me just get in the studio and see if I could do something. That was
Right.
gonna be one off the checklist, and I was gonna move on. And
Right. Right.
music is like it grabbed me. So you're not going anywhere now. Like, you're here, and
Right.
you can do this, and you're gonna carve your own lane to do it. So when I wrote Every Second, I was coming home. Actually, I was on the train coming home from a TV show audition in New York City. I was coming back to Delaware, and
Mhm.
I had my MacBook with me, and I'm like, okay, because my producer that helped me produce Selfish Pride, he, I told you he lives in Germany. So I said, hey, Stefan, send me a couple of dance tracks.
Right. Okay.
He sent me a couple, and there was two, and I was like, okay, all right. This one though, I fell in love with like
Yeah.
right away, and I kept in my mind was like, I got a song for this, but I just have to figure it out. And
Mhm.
the minute that the train pulled off, and I had my MacBook in front of me, and I still have the post on Instagram, and I said, all right, I'm writing another song. Here we go. And the train pulled off, and it was just like this road is because we hit a bump like on the train tracks.
Okay.
And it was like this road isn't paved with roses, it's bumpy, and I know you feel, you know what I mean? And it
Mhm.
just flowed. And I remember getting off because that was about an 80-minute train ride. And I remember getting off the train, singing the hook, walking to my car,
Okay.
and I knew I had something. And
Okay.
I wrote the rest of the lyrics and everything. And the song had sounded a little bit different. Well, the hook did anyway. And I got to give a huge shout out to my niece, my great niece, Jada Collazo, who is in college right now, but she was actually in the studio with me and was like, I'm in the booth. And she's like, Uncle, I'm like, what, babe? She was like, what, why don't you do it this way?
Okay.
And I'm like, sing it. Because I'm not one of those people. I'm like, be quiet. No, so what you got? and she
Uh,
sang it for me, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that. And that's how my niece got a writer's credit and a producer credit, because I was like, I wasn't gonna, and she doesn't really care, but it's just like I felt like, you know what, like you're a part of this, you know what I mean?
right.
So that's what I
Absolutely.
want it to be, and I owe a huge debt of gratitude to a lot of people that had a hand in this whole entire project. I really do.
That's dope. So what message do you want people to get from the song?
The message is simply this, and this is where I come into the music video. Obviously, in 2020, we saw a huge shift
Oh, yeah.
socially. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we learned about Ahmaud Arbery months after the
Mhm.
fact. Breonna Taylor, we heard about that. But the George Floyd murder completely drove me to depression. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Mm. Wow.
because we've seen these videos, we've seen things, you know what I mean? Like I go back to when I was 12 years old when I saw the Rodney King beating done by the
Yeah.
LAPD. I was 12 years old at the time.
Right.
Plus, that validated a lot of stuff that a lot of rappers like NWA was talking about when it came to police brutality against, color people. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So what happened when I saw that, and I'm like, did this really happen? Like, I'm
Mm.
just like watching
Yeah.
it. I had this, you know what I mean? You have to do a double take, and I'm like, this is a murder.
In broad daylight. Yeah. Mhm.
Daylight.
Yeah.
Over an alleged counterfeit $20 bill. So I'm just like, well, wait a minute. And because we were supposed to have done a completely different topic. We were going to originally do something about COVID originally,
Okay.
because I was going to film this thing remotely anyway, but we were
Mhm.
going to use images of COVID and all the stuff that was going on around the world, empty streets, you name it. But because of the fact that, I felt like as a black man, like I have to use my platform
Mhm. Right.
somehow, some way, and use this song as a vehicle for hope. And a lot of images from the past and in the present. I talked about obviously injustices against people of color. I talked about the plight against the LGBTQ community in the music video. And when you see how
Mm.
the images all come together, and the message truly is we're one human race.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're one human race, and we need to treat each other better. So the words of the lyrics of the song really coincides with the imagery of the music video. And I have to give a huge shout out to my videographer, Bruce Wabbit. He's an amazing human being, and we've known each other about 5 years now. We met in the film industry, and this was a two. This was basically a two-person project with the video. I shot that video in my house, here, in my house, with my iPhone Pro Max, a
Okay.
green screen, and this very light that's in front of me right now.
Nice.
That's all I
Nice.
needed,
Okay.
and
So,
that's
mhm.
how it all came to be.
Hey, that's amazing. So what's one thing about your craft that you feel like you need to improve on? Everyone needs to improve on something. Like what's one
Sure.
thing?
And
Mhm.
I think before, and I just think that, and I said it to you before, as a matter of fact, it's just more or less of being more creative on how a song was to start, right? The
Right.
beginning of a song, it doesn't necessarily have to begin with the verse. It could begin with something completely different, or and toying around with that. Toying around with different effects, you know what I mean? As it just trying to throw little things in there. Maybe another instrument that you may bark at it at first, but you're like, let's try that. Maybe a guitar might, fit this, right.
Right.
So I
Mhm.
think the more creative process I can get better at, obviously from a vocal perspective. Um, I'm not I'm not Pavarotti, I'm not Luther Vandross, I'm not any of those, amazing people, but I try to I want to stay in my own lane. And I
Right.
think that's if anything that's a positive is the fact that I know what I can do, and I know how that's going to further, my music career as far as just sticking to the things that I do, but also get better at those things that I do as well. So I think we all can get better. And it's like like any athlete. You hear athletes like Tom Brady say it all the time, a guy that got 7 Super Bowl rings. he's 44 years old. He's talking about I need to get better at throwing better in the pocket or whatever. So it's like we all when we're chasing greatness and when we're chasing, you know, what we truly want to be, our our true selves,
Right.
we have to continue to get better at a lot of things. So yeah, that's definitely some of the things, as I mentioned before, with just some of the framing of the songs and stuff. I know I can definitely get better.
Okay. Awesome. So, what's one thing that you feel like people love about you?
Oh wow. I think it's more or less just my genuine personality, as far as just me being a really calm person. And there's really not a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very just real mellow. Like, the person you're talking to now is the
Right.
person I'm at, 25, 8, 366. Like, that's just me. I'm just real cool, calm, and collective, man. And I just kind of just stay in my own, lane, and not cause a big ruckus about stuff. Like, that's if I could say
Right.
one of the things that people like about me is that attribute of the fact that I'm just really, really mellow, and I'm just a genuinely nice person. And
Right.
I'm going to, when you respect me, I'm going to respect you too, and I'm going to treat you, how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? That's the most important thing. And I don't, regardless of status or whatever it is, I could talk to a janitor. I could talk to a CEO of a company. I could talk to a
Mhm.
janitor the same way. Like, it doesn't matter to me. We all put our, we gotta all put on our shoes, and you know what I mean, and all these things, on a daily basis, like the next person. So who am I to want to big boy somebody because of status or whatever it is? So
Right.
I treat
Yeah.
everybody the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get that vibe from you. I get that energy from you for sure. So, so I know you rock with radio pushers heavy. You are definitely part of the family. So just give us a few updates on like your current music projects, your business moves, your overall state of mind. Like, what's just give us updates on what's going on with you.
Well, this past February, I formed Luciette Music, L7
Mm.
Music, and to give you a little bit of background behind that, my dad, the late Billy Lewis, who's a member of the Drifters, obviously he was in the music business and stuff. And there are seven of us Lewis kids. It's me and my six sisters, and
Oh, wow.
the Lewis seven, thus Luciette. And it's more or less honoring my dad and honoring my sisters, and just us. And I formed
Cool.
that mainly just for me to distribute my music. To It's under my umbrella. That's just want to just have my own entity and do my own thing. I've been with Radio Pushers for 4.5 years. Shout out to the Millennial General himself,
Yes.
Jonathan P. Wright, Patience J, for they were really, really believed in me years ago when I was kind of like not sure about whether I was going to continue music or not. And they was like, no, like, why would you want to? Because I was really thinking about quitting music. Like, I just didn't.
Mm.
There was just some personal things that was going on at the time, and I just didn't
Mhm.
feel that my energy was really in the right place to do
Right.
music. You know what I'm saying? But after some phone calls, some long phone calls with Jonathan, it was just like, yo, man, like, you have a gift.
Right.
Don't just throw it away just because. Like, we fight every day, for whatever it is, not physically, but just whatever situations are thrown at us. Life is going to throw you a lot of stuff, and you just have to be able to learn how to navigate through that. And it just took, him taking that, that approach with me, and I'm forever grateful. And then Patience, obviously giving me some really good tools to on the business end. So when I first told them about, my L7 music venture, they were really
Mhm.
supportive of it, and they were saying that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And like I said, I started that in February. Obviously, I launched my T-shirt store last September, and
Mhm.
right now, these shirts are all, they're on sale at shop.derricklewis.com. Back in June, I partnered with an LGBTQ charity down in Tampa, Florida, where
Mhm.
it was a pride shirt that I had designed, and proceeds went to them. And I'm currently running a fundraiser right now for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Obviously, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We want to end this horrible disease. And I have the Every Second Make It Count statement tee. That's the black tee with the white lettering. It's basically the same shirt, but it's pink lettering with the pink ribbon on the side. And I'm whatever I earn from that, all the proceeds are going directly to Breast Cancer Research Foundation. You can Google, you search them, you can go on the site, see what they're about. And like I said, I'm not taking a dime from it. I just feel as though that in order for me to expand as a brand, as an overall brand, me, L7 Music, and me as an actor and as a recording artist, I have to also be active in the community as well, regardless if it's online or whatever the case may be, to show my presence, to show that I really do care about a lot of causes that are going on, not here in my own kid, but around the world as well. And I think, breast cancer is a terrible disease. I've known people that have actually survived. You know what I mean? Shout out to my friend Claudia Brady up in North Jersey. I've known her over 25 years. She's a breast cancer survivor. You know what I mean? So when I think about people like her that went through that and have come on the other side of it, and I'm just so grateful for her being able to go through that and still be here with us. So that was the driving force of me, wanting to do some of these things and using my platform.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to your friend. Shout out to all the survivors of breast cancer and the ones who are going through treatment right now. So shout out to them. Got one more question. Well, actually two more. So are you ready for Radio Pushers to push your latest project and fly that plane again?
For sure. Absolutely. So the record, the EP, Every Second Make It Count EP has been out, and radio is right now through Radio Pushers is currently being heard on iHeartRadio with 88.7 XM, The Blaze out of Miami, and shout out to everybody involved in that. Every DJ that's spinning that record, thank you so much. It recently won an award at the WAM Music Awards on October 2nd. Actually, it won the Bronze Award for Best Dance Electronica Song. It was six records out of thousands and thousands that were submitted. Mine was one of them, and I took third out of 6 in that category. So it's getting played on that platform really, really soon. But with Radio Pushers alone, they've really done a really good job of promoting, my record. Shout out to DJ Yoshi that did the remix to Every Second. I appreciate DJ Yoshi. He's the official DJ for the Big Ten Conference. He's done something with the NFL and also Army football and the Little League World Series. So, and also he's a Rutgers University alum. So big shout out to DJ Yoshi. Shout out to Not From Here. He has a record out now. I have to shout him out real quick. Me and him are working on something right now, as a matter of fact, that's on the hush, but we got something cooking soon. So like I said, it's really, really good vibes right now.
Nice. Awesome. So let them know your Instagram handle so they can go ahead and follow you, go stream your music. Let them know all your handles.
Absolutely. If you can go to Twitter as well as Instagram and Snapchat, it's at The Real DT Lew, and I'll spell it out for you. The Real, and it's D like Derrick, T like Todd, LEW. The Real DT Lew. You can follow me on there, and I'll follow you back, and you can stream my record, on all platforms. You can check out the music video on YouTube, Vivo, Facebook, as well as Apple Music. You can get the music video on all 4 of those platforms, and just leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let the world know what you think.
Yes, that's right. All right, family. Y'all heard him. Derrick T. Lewis. Go follow his movement. Go follow him on IG. You guys can also follow us on Instagram as well. Results in No Hype Magazine. You guys can follow us on YouTube at RNH Magazine. So make sure you guys download that official Radio Pushers app. And always dream, hustle, win. It's been a pleasure. It's your host, Zoe Rosegold. Peace and love. Have a good night.
Take care.
All right. Thanks, Derrick. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.